Start the class, it was take a bow. We take that right fist, that's the sun, and then that flat left palm, that's the moon. This is how we start a health-based Tai Chi class. And then we bow down to one another to start our Tai Chi class. So welcome. Yay, I'm excited. So let's start with Atlas point rotation, and then we'll do a few movements, and then we'll go to the breath, okay? So Atlas point rotation is you're going to take your nose and draw a circle. You're always keeping it between the easy and ouch. Something feels weird. You don't like it. You don't do it. You just do what you can with what you got. So this helps you kind of notice your range of motion of, what's going on with turning your head side to side, or at least in the circular motion. And you're probably hearing a lot of crunchy things. That's one word for it. Also known as crepitus, big old fancy word for bone noises, or muscle noises. And then let's completely stop and then take it and go the other way. So here we go. Notice if it feels any different. Again, today is Chair Tai Chi. Some of these things you can be doing standing. If you prefer to do some stuff standing, I'm not going to cue any standing today, but because it's Chair Tai Chi. But some things naturally you can do standing. Just know that, okay? I had someone ask one time, can we do some of this stuff standing? Sure, but some of this stuff you got to do seated because it's geared for seated. One more time, all the way around. I hear a lot of noise going on here. That Atlas. Whoa, puppy dog. And then come back to the center. So what I'm going to do is mute y'all. Open the video. All right, that should have stopped the little dog barking in the background. And then from here, let's do swimming dragon. So I'm gonna bring the hands together, and it's away from my chest a little bit, okay? It's right here in front of my middle dantian, and I've got my feet a little wide, and I'm sitting up tall. I'm away from the back of the chair. And then from here, what we'll do, we'll breathe in, and you expand the belly as you breathe in. It's kind of weird, yeah, breathe in, belly out. And as you exhale, push hands one direction, turn the head the other. Woo! Stay here. Let's breathe in. Exhale back to the center, belly button tight. Let's reset that. So let's breathe in, belly big. Exhale, push it away. Noticing your range of motion going on here. Notice you've got kind of creakiness, stiffness one side. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale back to the center. Let's do one more. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale, push it away. Sometimes air escapes during these poses. That's okay. Breathe in. Exhale back to the center. Let's do what's called a finishing breath in Chair Tai Chi. We inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then as if your hands are on top of a ball, you pull the energy from the universe, from the heavens, down to your dantian, your collection center for your life force energy, right here about 2 finger widths below your belly button. That's your center of your dantian. So from here, let's do that breath again. Inhaling, circle, sweep arms up, 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 up. And then exhale, bring down that energy. Beautiful. So again, swimming dragon was for range of motion, maybe to ease some neck pain. Also with Atlas point rotation, you get a little range of motion going on here, again, with the neck and the shoulders. But let's do another one for more blood flow to the brain. It's called spread the feathers. So you spread out your hands like a little starfish. And you take your hand out to the side. Now I'm going to lower my arm a little bit and then turn my thumb to the back of the room. So I feel that activation of my elbow, my upper arm, my forearm a little bit. I'm going to take my opposite ear, drop it towards my shoulder. Woo! Sometimes feels a little spicy. Again, more blood flow going into the brain on that extended arm side. Then, always, again, keep it between the easy and ouch. We're going to take the chin, turn it towards the shoulder. You might feel a little easing of tension there. And then if it's available, we're going to take that chin and point it towards where the wall meets the ceiling. So tilt it up. Then with the chin, we'll draw a half circle or a smile with the chin. So bring the chin towards the chest and then towards that extended arm side and then release. Woo! So you're going to feel that little contraction energy when you really spread that hand, turning the hand to the back of the room. It's activating some different type of traditional Chinese medicine meridians in our body. Other side, spread it out, spread the feathers, spread those little feathers, arm out to the side. And again, I'm going to lower my arm a little bit and then turn my thumb to the back of the room. So I really activate that extended arm. Take that opposite ear, drop it towards the shoulder. Ooh. Again, I'm kind of feeling some stuff going on in that shoulder and that neck. And then from here, take your nose, turn it towards your shoulder. And notice what you notice. There might be some stuff going on. Again, breathe. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. And then let's take that chin, point it to where the wall meets the ceiling, or tilt it up a little bit. I'm getting a little frog here. That's normal. And then we're going to draw a smile with our chin. So bring the chin towards your chest and then towards the extended arm side and release. Woo! Clap the hands. Get some heat into those palms just a little bit. And you know what? Let's spin the wrists. All right. That's good for that carpal tunnel. I always notice that my left arm, that's my non-dominant arm, so I write with my right, is more stiff than that right side. That's when I notice that during arm circles or hand circles, wrist spins. What do they call this? What do they call this? Wrist spins, I guess. I don't know. And then let's reverse that. It also brings energy into the hands, the wrists, those lower forearms. You may notice some sensation going on here. Very good. And then we're going to cup the hands and swing the arms. And notice what's going on. Does one shoulder talk more than the other? Probably. Yeah. And then if you can, tap the tops of the shoulders. Get a little elbow grease going on in the elbows. Little synovial fluid moving. Little synovial fluid moving in those shoulder joints. Let's do 3 more. That was 3, 2, and 1. Just kind of let it dangle here. Very good. We're going to shift over to one side of our chair, or I'm going to because my chair is kind of big. I have my hand on my leg. I'm going to draw some arm circles. Ooh. You've had knee surgery in the chest for whatever reason, the pacemaker, a defibrillator, whatever. Yeah. Sometimes you have to have your arm in a sling and it's immobile. And this is one of the exercises they did after I had my pacemaker put in. I was going, hey, that's a Chair Tai Chi movement. Or that was after the effect, of course, right? And then let's pause and then circle it the other way. You might notice increased sensation going on when we're doing the arm circles, the arm stirs, the arm stirs. Again, range of motion in that shoulder socket. I can't talk today. Oh my gosh. So when is that anything new, right? Y'all can just laugh with me or at me. I don't care. Make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Bring that arm up. Woo, notice if there's some stuff going on. Shift over to the other side. Here we go. All right, we got to do the other one. So let it kind of dangle there and then start your circles. Or in NASCAR, what do they say? Start your engines. And do you notice, maybe you need to have a hand here on the shoulder for a little extra cushion or caution. I can feel my shoulder joint, of course, when my hand is here doing this movement. It's going click, 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 click. It's not a bad thing. It's just a weird thing. And then let's pause and then go the other way. My shapes are different when I go the other way. It's like wider or longer or more kind of, I don't know, jaggedy, more amoeba-like, I guess. I can notice this shoulder's kind of going, I'm tired already. It's okay. Make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Yay. Come back to the center of your chair. Let's do wild goose flutter. It's a version of shaking gong. So basically, we're going to shake the arms up at angles to the front. Brings energy into the fingers, the hands, the wrists, the arms. And then maybe you can turn it to the side, bring it back to the center, turn it to the other side. Always kind of hit my leg if I'm not careful with my hands. Just keep moving. Okay. And bring it back to the center. Now this time, bring it straight out to the side. up and down. Ooh, that's kind of challenging. Keep it here at letter T. And then turn the palms up, flap those wrists for that carpal tunnel, okay? Very good. Very nice. And then from here, bring it back to the center, clap those hands. Rub some heat here. We're going to do the big six, so lymphatic drainage. So we're going to take and spread out our hands like the starfish. Bring fingers above and below the collarbone and stroke above and below the collarbone. This is to guide us for lymphatic drainage. We do something similar to this in a traditional Qigong detoxing, but we're going to do big six today instead. You can also tap across to help us have better cerebral spinal fluid flow, to get rid of that waste in the brain, to have less brain fog, dementia. Let's do the other side. So again, spread out the hands above and below the collarbone. So we normally get rid of our CSF fluids when we do deep REM sleep, but a lot of us have challenged sleep. And the way physically you can help this is by doing the big six, okay? Also to do deep lower belly breathing and tap, tap, tap. But it's a particular type of deep belly breathing. It's breathing at the dantian is what it is. And I'm a yoga teacher, and you'd think I would, know this, but it's turned out Tai Chi is like kind of the key. All right, so that was place number one. So remember that. That was number one. We're going to move on to number two. Again, you spread out the hands. You do fingers in front of the ears and back of the ears and stroke down the side of the neck. Now you're not digging, okay? You're stroking down and then go down the jawline. Again, we're allowing the cerebral spinal fluid that accumulates in the brain to go through the third thoracic outlet. 70% of our body goes through the third, and 70% goes through the right side. And then let's do the other side, spread it out in front of the ears and back of the ears. Now, gentlemen who shave normally get a lot of stimulation going on for their lymphatic fluids by, they're tugging their mouth to one side when they're, bringing the razor across and that kind of thing. But women typically don't get that same facial movement because we have like 44 muscles in the face? And you got to work your face also. We don't normally kind of work the face. This is one mechanism for doing that. And then from here, that was area number two. The next one is the armpit. So you take your hand into your armpit, you can kind of rub, you can tap, you can squeeze. You also have the thumb here, right here in the pectorals. So again, men and women that get breast cancer, yes, men get breast cancer too. This is the area they check. Did the cancer move to these lymph nodes? So we're keeping this clean by giving it a good rub down, okay? And sometimes you can do a fist to that. If I can reach. All right, we're going to do the other side again. We're not going to be shy. We're just going to go ahead and do this, okay? And again, I like to make the noise, though. I'm a noisy kind of gal. I like to also make a fist into there. Now I can reach easier on this side. I don't know why that is. Probably because of my heart surgery. I have some scar tissue, so I'm still working out my scar tissue. Okay, so that was area number three. Area number four. I'm going to bring my feet forward a little bit because I want more of my torso to be in this one. This is considered to be your second brain. So there is a sequence to this. So we're doing area number four. Right here below the ribs is your diaphragm. Now, what I like to do extra is just kind of push in and kind of drag it across. Sometimes, that diaphragm is way up in there, kind of stuck, Well, yeah. And then just doing this relaxes it a little bit. And then I just take the sides of my hands and I chop or make fists. Again, there's that gut-brain connection. So very important to kind of stimulate this area. And if you're going to do the rubs, you can go from the top over to the left and down. So that is kind of in the direction of aiding digestion and elimination. So you might have a better restroom experience. I'm just putting that out there, just, in case who knows, right? Ascending, descending colon. All right, and then from here, I'm gonna bring my feet wide and my feet a little forward. And this crease here, so that's, this is where they check for uterine, ovarian, prostate cancer. Did the cancer move to the inguinal crease, or known as the qua in Chair Tai Chi? Again, the sides of the hands, I like to chop the qua. Some people will rub. We're a mixed company. Let's just chop, okay? Now, I do chop a little stronger than what I did at the belly. I don't know. That's just, it just kind of like, I don't know. Seems like it needs it. And we have one more area, area number 6. This is the back of the knee. So if you have swelling, edema in the feet, you got to work the lymph nodes that are back here at the back of the knees. I mean, there's a bunch, okay? So you can take the fingers and stroke behind the back of the knee, that knee bend, or you can take like a little thumbs sticking up and chop the back of the knees. But what I like to do is kind of stroke the bottom of the hamstrings, the upper leg, and get the back of the knee bend. And then I like to move my feet forward and get the top of the calves. That way I get all areas done. Now, the thumbs are also giving me a nice little benefit where I'm stroking the side of the knee, which is one of the tapping movements for lessening knee pain. And in fact, let's come back up and sit up tall, clap the hands. Let's work the knees next, shall we? It just kind of segues into that. Wonder how I did that. Got some heat going on? All right, let's place that heat gently, gently, gently on the knees. Ooh. And don't press down hard, okay? Just transfer the heat. Doesn't last long though, okay? And then come up on the pads of the fingers to stimulate those acupressure points, the meniscuses, the meniscus, I don't know what it is, and reverse. And then we're going to address the gallbladder and the stomach meridian with the tapping. So at the palm of the hand, tap, tap, tap softly the sides of the knees. This is one for lessening knee pain. And this next one's a little spicy. Okay, that's my personal opinion. It's a little spicy. So the inside of the knees. Now, some people, what they do is they cross the hands and tap them. That just weirds me out. I just do the same leg, same arm. Y'all do you, okay? Woo! 2 more, 2 and 1. Clap the hands. Rub some heat. Let's warm up the shins, the calves. Get the side of the legs, the inside of the legs, the underside, the top side. All right, let's scoot back in our chair. Let's do our knee strengtheners next. Okay, and it's also kind of a sneaky chair Pilates move. Sneaky, but probably not because I just told you. Anyway, let's flex a foot. Show me the bottom of your foot. I'm gonna lift my leg a little bit. I had socks on. This would probably be more visual, but you're flexing the foot, yeah? And then you're gonna lower it, hover it. So in other words, you're not touching the floor. And then gently go back to point toes to the front of the room. And then release it down. So you may notice some little shifting of your back, your spine muscles, especially if you have scoliosis. Let's do the other one. Flex that foot. Again, I'm going to lift my leg. It feels weird on the chair. Toes towards you. Very good. Lower hover. And then point toes away. Or towards me. Yeah, away. Yeah, that makes sense. And then release it down. So we're going to add in the opposite arm. So we're working all the hemispheres, all the places of the brain when we do this too. Except for where you write something. We don't use that part of the brain. So here we go. Flex the foot, take your opposite hand, flex the hand, little stop sign here. And then lower, point the toe, point the fingers, zip up your abdominals and up and down. Weird basketball dribble. It's called the 100 when you lay on your back, knees at 90-degree angles, but we can also do that seated in the chair. And release. Woo! Okay, we held that a little bit. It might be a little spicy. Let's do the other side. Flex the foot. Just keep breathing, okay? Flex that opposite hand. Listen to the breath as it goes in, as it goes out. All right, lower the foot and the hand, hover, and then point the toes, point the fingers. Zip up the abdominals up and down. Now you can go whatever speed you need to, but you're probably feeling the lower abdominals, maybe the upper abdominals, maybe everything in between. Maybe go faster, maybe not. And release. Woo! All right. We're going to add on to that, okay? So here we go. Again, back to the foot, flex both hands. double stop, and then lower, 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 and point the toe, point the fingers, zip up the abdomen. Now alternate up and down. Now here's where it gets interesting, both at the same time. Maybe a little faster, shorter range of motion. And release. Woo! Other side. Here we go. Flex that foot, flex the wrist, other one too. Double stop sign, and then lower. And then point the toe, point the fingers. Let's do the little up and downs, little swimming, little straight arm swimming, or weird basketball dribbles. Now do both at the same time if you can. Beautiful. And release. Come forward on your chair. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And bring down the chi. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing in, get that breath going. And exhale. 1 more. Here we go. Breathe in. Now bring down fists this time. We're going to do eagle claw. Let's inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, push it sky high. Reach, reach, reach. Beautiful. Inhale back to your chest. Open up the palm. That spread the feathers. Exhale, push it forward. Inhaling back to the chest. Turn the head to the side, range of motion. Push your arm out to the side. Now we're going to open and close 5 times. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to your waistline. Increase mobility with this. Again, inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Do what you can with whatever you've got today. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up the palm. Exhale, push it forward. Coordinated breath with the movement helps to lower the stress. Inhale, back to your chest. Turn the head to the side, whatever range of motion you got on. Push it out. And here we go. 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to the waist. Let's do 1 more each side. Inhale, fist to chest. Breathe in. Exhale, sky high. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up the hand. Exhale, push it forward. Inhaling back to the chest. Turn the head. And here we go. Push it out to the side. Open and close. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to the waistline. Last time. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, push it towards the sky. Do what you can with what you got. May look different than me. That's okay. Inhale, bring it back. Open up the palm. Spread them out. Exhale, push it forward. Inhaling back to your chest. Turn your head. Exhale, push it out to the side. Open and close 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. Let's do the finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. You know what? I'm going to get a little sip of water. I got the little frog going on. So if you want to take a little water break, this is the time to do that. Or you could do 2 more finishing breaths. Very good. That's better. Sorry about that. Sometimes you can't control that. When I was doing the lymphatic drainage from the neck, I noticed a lot of nasal drainage happens also for me, and you may notice that too. All right, so next, let's do the jitterbug. So bring the feet, the ankle bones together. Knees can be a little bit apart, and we're going to heel toe over to the side. So we're doing a lot of ankle articulation, and then bring it back over to the other side. I usually take my upper body and twist the opposite direction, or maybe it's the same direction. But sometimes this one encourages air to happen. So just think about that, okay? Maybe you're tasting your breakfast, your lunch again, with those little burps. And I'm not going to talk about the other air, okay? I'm just not going to talk about it. Although I just kind of did, didn't I? All right. And then join me back in the center. Here we go. I'm taking a little time to get there. All right, back to the center. Now, heels apart and then toes in. Mine feel like they're wider than they are, but we're going to independently walk them out and in. So here we go. So you might notice here, ooh, okay, which foot is more strong than the other? Or do I have some stiffness going on one side versus the other? Most folks do have some feet issues, especially if they were in steel toe shoes or those military boots. Yeah. I know I wore steel toe shoes when I worked out at DuPont, and they weren't the most comfortable thing. Okay, I'm just putting that out there, but they did protect your feet. So there you go. And then bring it in. Woo! Stomp those feet, kind of let go of that muscle memory when you do that. You can hang onto the chair if you like. This also helps with lessening leg cramps, okay? And you're getting that sneaky calf pump going on here. And then come up on the balls of the feet and then shake the legs. We do this in our back yoga when we're doing the block bridge pose. Ooh, that's a good pose, you know? And again, stomp those feet. Oh, yeah. And shake the legs. Now we're going to do a little bit of cardio, just a little bit. We're going to walk forward and back. And you just kind of pump your arms naturally, okay? Or unnaturally, as the case may be. So we're working those hip flexors, yes? Again, those of us with back challenges, this may be going a little spicy, maybe. And then we're going to bring the feet back, back. Reset your spine. Start with the other side, or maybe it's the same side, forward and back. So again, we're stimulating the bottoms of the feet, all those acupressure points, whether you have shoes on or not. Also, there is a calf pump going on here, returning that blood flow from the lower part of the body back to the heart. All very beneficial. All right, one more. One, back and done. All right, let's do some spinal cord breathing. Remember when we cup the hands and threw the arms down? We're going to cup the hands in front and then maybe feet a little wide. Then we're going to inhale, elbows up, chest forward. So it's cow pose in yoga. And then exhale, curve your spine to the back of the room. So you need to be away from the back of the chair to kind of facilitate this. And again, inhaling, elbows up. And then exhale, belly button tight, curve your spine to the back of the room. Go slow if you got a spicy pelvic tilt happening. And again, inhaling, elbows up. Exhaling, curve the spine. Now this time, let's turn to the side. Turn from the quad, turn over to the side, and inhaling up. Woo, for that little twist there. Exhale, back to the center. You're also massaging the internal organs. Other side, inhaling up. The pancreas, the liver, back to the center. The gallbladder, the kidneys. And again, other side. And down. Come to the center this time. Go up to the center. Way up, elbows up. Back to the center. Now go over to the other side. This is the last time for the other side. Here we go. Elbows up. And down. Now let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. You know what? Let's do one of our upper body Qigong detoxing because I think we need it. Let's tap the outside of the arm. Go to the shoulder, palm up, come down the inside. Let's do that again. Tap. So I'm using the palm of my hand to the bone. Go to the shoulder, palm up, bring it on down. One more time. Here we go. Tap. Hit that shoulder. Maybe you want to stay there. Maybe I want to stay there. Bring it down. Okay, now you just kind of slough off that excess, kind of what I would call itchy energy and shake the body. Let's do the other side. Clap your hands first. Oh, do that again. Okay, that was better. All right, let's do the other side. Here we go. Tap. Get that shoulder. Palm up, bring it down. Again, outside of the arm. Here we go. Stay here a little bit. You can do a fist here if you like, and then bring it down. One more time. Here we go. Woo! Bring it down. Woo! Slough off that excess energy. Go ahead and shake. Let's do wild goose flutter. And down. One more. Very nice. Spin the wrists. Then reverse. We're just trying to expel that excess energy here. And bring the feet a little wide as we do a parry. We draw one in and then the other. Shifting weight from one bun to the other, maybe. So I imagine there's this coffee table. I'm trying to reach the corners with my rag, get that coffee table all dusted up. So that's what I think about when we do parry. Probably because my house needs a little dusting. I'm not going to go there. I just did though. And then we're going to pause and then wipe it out. Oh, it's raining. I don't know if y'all can hear the thunder. It's like, oh, yesterday the electricity went out. So if suddenly my screen is not there, you know why, okay? It's because we got a lightning strike. All right, then let's do the windows. Let's wipe the windows. Why not? Notice what your shoulders are telling you now. Are they kind of going, mm-hmm. Or is it okay? I hope it's okay. You can go a little slower, little less range of motion. It's all right. You do what you can with what you got, all right? And then we're going to pause and then wipe it in. So here we go. Now remember Karate Kid, or what is it, Cobra Kai? Yeah, watched that for a couple of years. If you want more, it's always if. Make a fist, bring an elbow more across. So really getting into the musculature that supports the ribs, the lungs. Breathing deep, deep, deep into the lungs. It just kind of happens when you do elbow digs. And then bring it back on top. Wipe it in. Wipe it in. Wipe, wipe, wipe. And it gets smaller, smaller, and smaller. Very good. Now from here, we're going to do what's called silk reeling. It's a Chan style of Tai Chi. What we do is Yang style Tai Chi. And with this, we're have a palm facing your face, like the middle of your palm, which is also a very special place in Tai Chi in acupressure points. And then just kind of have that gazing at your nose level. With the other hand, we'll have it here below our dantian, below our belly button, about 2 inches or 2 finger widths, palm down. Now, part of what we do in silk reeling is we lead from the dantian, which is this central area of our body. So let's go ahead and twist over towards the side where the hand is up. So twist as much as you comfortably can with both buns firmly on the chair. So you're turning what this is called turning from the qua, turning from the dantian. All right, so from here, let's breathe in. And as we exhale, bring the body across. All the way till you can't go any further. Don't let your knees drop in. Mine tend to do that. So I got to think about my knees. So I'm twisting as best I can. I'm not trying to force it though. I'm letting my spine do this work. From here, I'm going to take that bottom hand up, the top hand down, palm facing you. Don't have the elbow out to the side. Have it down, okay? And then turn your face to look at the center of the palm. Let's breathe in once again. Exhale, bring it across. So we're turning the whole body as a unit across to the other side. Then we're going to switch. Palm down, palm facing you. Bring it across. Breathe in this time. And then switch. Think about it. Palm down, palm up. Exhale, bring it across. Bring the palm down, bring a palm up. Inhale, bring it across. Or breathe however you need to. That works too. And then switch. Exhaling, palm down, palm facing you. I got to inhale instead. You know, I'm not going to cue the breath. It's too complicated. And again, bring it across. Just breathe. And you switch once you get to the place where you can't twist anymore. Palm down, one facing you away from the body. And then bring it across. Very good, very good. Get here to where you can't turn anymore. Palm down, palm up. Palm facing down, palm facing your nose looking at the palm. And again, last time. And then bring it down, bring it up. This is also called in Yang style, cloud hands. And then from here, come back to the center. Let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. From here, bring your feet back on in. Let's slide it out to the side and center. So we're doing air pose like we do in chair yoga. And then there's a little ball here. We don't want to kick the ball. We want to step over the ball. So we're doing that sumo stomp. And we're doing a soft one to begin with. So we're doing our own muscular strength. Just notice if one side does it a little bit higher than the other. And then add a hand underneath to go beyond your range of motion. Yeah, so bring it up a little bit. Yeah, very good. Now, if you want the bone building benefit, you release the foot to the floor, let it drop. You don't have brittle bones. So the official sumo stomp, I guess you call it. Then we also have a version called sumo ruckus, where we make a little bit of ruckus and we'd be a little bit more forceful. It's always an option, okay? Always an option. And bring it back to the center. So for sumo ruckus, we basically raise our arms up and we go hi, and we lift the leg up, and then we bring it down and we go ya. Okay, and then we bring it back the same way. Hi-ya. So there's a little force with the foot on the floor. Let's do the other side. Hi-ya. Again. Hi-ya. Ah, do it again. Hi, other side. Hi-ya. 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 One more each side. Hi-ya. Hi-ya. Last one. Hi-ya. Hi-ya. Woo! Stomp those feet. Shake those legs. Excellent. Stomp them again. Now let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Exhaling. Let's do a palm out to the side. Sit up tall. We're going to do swallow flies to the nest. So let's inhale, bring the arm across, stretch that side body. Exhale, arm out to the side. Inhale, up and over. And then exhale, land it in front of you and back to the center. So that's side lateral flexion in yoga. Let's do that again. Other side. Inhale, bring it across. Exhale, out to the side. Now hang on to my leg with my other hand. Inhale, up and over. And exhale, back to the center. Now let's do that with the little poem. Here we go. Swallow flies east. Breathe in. Swallow flies west. Exhaling. Swallow flies up and over, hangs out here just for a little bit, and then lands in its nest and back to the center. Switching sides. Swallow flies east, inhaling, doesn't know directions. Swallow flies west. Swallow flies up and over. You're using your abdominals here, and then lands in its nest. Once more, breathe in, bring it across. Breathe out. Breathe in, up and over. And exhale. Last time, breathe in, really bring it across. Breathe out. Inhale up and over. And exhale. Let's come back to the center and do that finishing breath. Inhaling, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. Beautiful. Yay. All right, from here, let's do teacup. So palm up, sit up tall, away from the back of the chair because you got to hide the ball back behind you in part of this. So we're going to bring the hand, elbow back behind you, hand near your side body, your armpit, then turn your elbow out to the side, kind of a weird position, yeah, and then hide your hand. We're going to take the opposite shoulder, lean out, and bring that arm out to the side. Now look at it. Is it palm up? Oh, you know, it may or may not be. So the way that I try to do this is I try to look at that palm to keep it palm up. It may not happen. We're going to draw it low and then lean back like we do in boat pose in yoga, and then bring it up above us like a tornado and bring it back. Did you spill your tea? Maybe, yeah, just maybe. Now, if you've got a stuffed toy or a pillow or, you know, something you can grab, maybe you want to try this with an object in your hand. I'm going to grab this little ball that I had here at the front, just to kind of give it a more visual thing. You don't have to have something to do this, but again, sometimes that helps. So a reason for having a squishy ball around at the house, yeah? So we're going to do the same side. So it's palm up. We bring it to our armpit or our side body, and then elbow out, and then hide your hand, hide the ball, hide whatever you have, and then lean out, palm up. So then you're going to really tighten your abdominals here, hand on the leg, feet a little wide, draw a low circle, and then lean back. Draw that circle up above, and then bring it back. Maybe you spilled your tea, maybe it didn't, maybe it just spilled a little bit. That's okay either way. Let's try that again this side. So here we go. Ball to the armpit, hand to the armpit. Turn the elbow out. Maybe it's a tennis ball. Bring it back behind you. Maybe it's a pickleball. Lean out, palm up. Okay, take a look at it. And then belly button tight. You're going to draw it low and then bring it up high. Swirl it, twirl it. Woo! Bring it back. Very good. Now again, let's do the other side. So palm up, sit up tall. And then from here, I'm bringing the hand to my armpit, to my side body, turn that elbow out, and then hide the hand. I'm going to lean forward a little bit because I'm make a little bit more room here. And I'm going to lean out the opposite direction of that hand, bring that hand out. Now it's palm up. So here I go, belly button tight, and I'm going to try to keep the palm up. Ooh, and then bring it back. There might be some grunting going on when you do this too. I'm going to grab the ball. Again, give you a little visualization. Let's do that again. We're going to do that, I think, 2 or 3 more times. So ball, hand to the armpit, turn the elbow out, hide the hand. Very good. Lean out, bring the hand out, and then think about it. Palm up. Look at it if you can. Lean into it. Use those abdominals when you do this. So there's a lot of neuroplasticity, a lot of brain work happening when you do this. Woo! Let's do that 2 more times. So lean forward, ball to the side body, elbow out or hand to the side body. Hide your hand, hide your ball, hide your object. Lean out, bring your hand out, palm up. Okay, palm up. Okay, very good. And start your journey. Whoa, whatever that might be. Okay, and bring it back around. Now, typically, I hold my breath when I do this. That's just what happens, okay? Let's do that 1 more time. Hand to the armpit, elbow out, hide the hand. That's my favorite part, hide the hand. Lean out, bring the palm out. Palm up. Is it palm up? I hope so. And draw that circle. Whoop. Bring it back. Very good. Let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. Okay. So from here, I'm going to come to the front. We're going to do a few energy tapping type of thing. We're going to do our traditional ones that we do. Then we'll do our guided rest and relaxation. I'm going to put in the chat line 1 more time that pain and distress survey in case you have to leave early. It's going to be in there for you to tap into before you leave. Okay, so there it is in the chat line. So from here, let's take the sides of the pinkies and tap, tap, tap. I'm making a lot of noise here. Very good. Okay. We'll see if it keeps it up. So this is for headache, for vertigo. Tap in the meridian here that's on the side of the body. And you do this for about a minute. We're just doing a sampler here today, okay? And then we're going to go to the interwebs of the thumbs. That's for aiding digestion and nausea. And I'm kind of, tapping, make a little noise. This kind of happens. And then let's switch it. So we got to let the hands go in the other direction, yeah? Now everybody has a normal way of interlacing their fingers. So interlace your fingers and then kind of spread them out a little bit. And we're going to tap in those little in-between areas. So that's addressing, let me think here, probably 8 to 10 different meridians. So this is for pain and numbness in the limbs. Yeah, because the pinky one has 2 meridians. And then we're going to make it still, wiggle the top finger, and then shift the other finger to be on top. So that may have weirded you out because it's like, whoa, that's not my normal way to interlace my fingers. Yeah. Now the next one I like to do is the pulse point of the wrist. So some folks will do it like this, but I like to do up and down. So that's for heart palpitations, cardiovascular issues. And then let's go ahead and flip it, switch it. Okay, very good. Now, like we did before, we cupped the hands when we swung the arms and we did the spinal cord breathing. Cup your hand again and tap on the top of the hand. So the back of the hand is for osteoarthritis, back pain. Now, some folks will put their hand down on their leg and do this, but when I do it, I tap too hard. I know that about me, so I just keep it in the air. You do you, though, okay? Again, osteoarthritis, back pain. When we shift it to the back of the wrist, it's for neck and shoulder pain. So again, cupped hand, back of the wrist. Okay, there you go. Had to move my bracelets twice. neck and shoulder pain. Now, let's switch all that over to the other side again. The cupped hand, back of the hand, osteoarthritis, back pain. Here we go. Again, turn it a little bit more if you've got rings. You don't necessarily want the ring to touch the back of the hand. Sometimes we can be a little too much. Yeah, a little too much. Let's shift that to the back of the wrist for that neck and shoulder. Again, I'm going to do it on the other one because I got my watch there. Very good. Now we're going to do the 3 for easing insomnia. Sometimes when we do the tapping, though, it can kind of have a emotional, physical release. And so that's kind of a normal thing. So again, we're going to cup the hands. This is area number 1 first is the rub the armpit. Now I do the left side because that's closest to my heart. It doesn't matter, but you choose what you want to do. But rub the armpit. This is area number 1 for easing insomnia. So this is a sequence of 3 different places. And maybe go around, circle it the other direction if you do one direction. All right, and then I'm going to take the cupped hands, and this is an alternating posture. You tap the elbow pits. We can have armpits, we can have elbow pits. So here we go. Now, your normal tapping might be louder, might be more spicy. So maybe do less, okay? There's another Chinese method. It's called Heilin Jialin, self-healing touch. And it's based on releasing toxins from these slapping points. And it's a more vigorous modality. So that is area number 2. Depending how strong that is, you might feel some little after effect there on your arms. Now I'm going to shift forward a little bit on this one because I want to sit up tall. So it's the ear pulls, okay? I don't know, folks don't like this, but this is part of the sequence. So if you want to do this, you may. I'm going to take your thumbs. I'm going to dry off my hands because my ears get sweaty. Pull your earlobes down. Just pull, pull, pull. Of course, this is challenging with earrings, yes. And then go to the middles and pull out. Notice what you notice. We've got all these acupressure points in our ears, just like we do reflexology points, like on our feet and our hands. It's also represented by our body and our ears. And then pull-ups. Pull-ups? Thinking of my grandson and his pull-ups. No, not that kind of pull-up. Pull-up on the ears. All right, let's do it. We have to do that 2 more times, okay? So here we go. Oh, so wipe off my sweaty hands. All right, here we go. Pull them down. I can hear better. But I can't go walking around like this. No, I can't. And then pull out. This is actually the one where I hear better. And then pull up. There's a Tai Chi movement in one of the classes I take where we have arms up overhead. And we have our arms right here on the outside of the ears. And when I do that in the class that I take, I hear better. So that's similar to pulling them out. And we're doing the second part. Now, one more. Here we go. Pull down. And you're laying on your back in this particular Qigong practice when you do that. And then pull out. Here we go. And here, last one, pull up. Very good. I don't think my daughter could do this because she has all these little things on the tops of her ears. So that might be a little painful for her. So again, kind of depends what appliances you have on, whether or not you're able to do that particular sequence. But I just want to have that as another tool in your toolbox for, okay, I need to try something else in addition to helping me sleep at night. But number 2 is the yoga nidra practices that we have here on Veterans Yoga Project or over on our SoundCloud account because we have about, I think, 10 different practices over there. All right, scoot back in your chair or wherever you're, getting comfortable here. Maybe it's the couch, maybe it's the comfy chair. And we'll do that guided meditation. So one of the focal points in Tai Chi is called Governor Vessel number 20. It's called the Bakway in Korean. And it's here at the crown of the head. It's where we have multiple intersections of so many meridians in our body. So basically, think about that little crown of the head where you have that little swirl of your hairline, or, when you had hair, that kind of thing, wherever that is, the top of the head. It's not forward, it's more back, okay? And let's envision that it's opening up. All right, so just imagine a little hole opening up there. Let's just place our hands on our legs or on our belly. I'm gonna put mine on my belly today. And then I'm going to gaze my eyes down at the floor. Now, as we breathe in, we're expanding the belly out and we're contracting the belly towards the spine. So this is part of our guided rest practice today. So breathe in, imagine sunshine coming in through the crown of the head. And it's saturating every cell in the body with this healing light, the sunlight from the sun and the universe light. It's going from the top of the head down to the chin, down the neck, across the collarbones, over to the shoulders, down the arms, the elbows, to the wrists, the palms, and to the tips of the fingers. So imagine that healing light, the sunlight, the universe light, saturating every cell in the body all the way down to the tips of the fingers. Now, let's shift it back to the collarbone, back to the shoulders, and it's coming down the front side of our body, the back side of the body, through the ribs, through the chest, down the spine. Now, saturating everything around anything that deals with the hips, the bones, the muscles, the tendons, saturating the front and the back side of the low body here. Now it's going to the groin, the upper legs, the knees, the calves, the shins, to the tops of the feet, to the soles of the feet, and down, down, down to the tips of the toes. Bring in the light, bring in the healing, see it, feel it, imagine as if it were already true. Now, maybe you have a spicy area or two that you kind of deal with, and just direct a little bit of that universal light, that sunshine light to that area. Again, as if it were already true, bringing that healing modality into our bodies. Good, good. And I invite you to kind of flutter those eyes open and then shift a little forward here. From here, let's go back to two of the postures that we did before. Let's do that Atlas point rotation. So take your nose, drop it towards your chin, and start doing that rotation of the head, leading with the nose. And notice what you notice. Maybe there's less noise. Maybe there's a little bit more easing of being able to do this movement. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's more. Maybe it's different. And then we're going to completely pause and then take it and go the other way. Go the other direction. Again, listening, feeling, comparing it to the first time. And then bring it back to the heart center, back to the heart center. So let's do swimming dragon. So palms together. I hook my thumbs when I do this. My hands are away from my chest. We're going to breathe in, belly big. Push hands one direction, turn your head the other direction. Notice what you notice. There might be some differences. And then just bring it back to the center. Going to wriggle those shoulders a little bit. And let's do that again. First we breathe in. And then exhale, push it away, other side. And then bring it back to the center. From here, I invite you either to stack the hands or hands together at your heart center. And I invite you to drop your chin towards your chest and just showing up today, a gratitude of showing up today. And let's think about one thing that we're grateful for, or maybe an idea of gratitude. And we're going to grab that idea or that thought and place it into our heart center as we think about what we're grateful for, or at least an idea of gratitude. I appreciate y'all signing up for a class, for coming to class, or maybe to watch a video or listening to an audio later on for your practice. That shows your dedication, determination, your discipline, and your responsibility for creating your own path to self-healing. So I applaud you. I honor you for coming today. Thank you so much. And then from here, let's lift our eyes and end our class as we began it. So we're going to do that right fist, that's the sun, and that flat left palm, that's the moon. And we bow down to one another to end our Chair Tai Chi class. That concludes our practice of Chair Tai Chi. Let me stop the recording. Okay.